mics are on?
I turned mine off. I'm just gonna use Zach's. No, it is still on.
And it's not going to go on
Eventually,
sleep
I'm
this
just gonna
time.
Start coming over
Roll
here and
is
being
going
like,
back.
Get
I
out of
wanna
here.
talk in
Get.
mics.
Get.
Want to talk in mics? I'm gonna talk
Oh,
in
the
mine.
Talking Mics? That's a great band name.
Talking mics.
Yeah.
That was good. Like the
Called
talking
it.
heads.
Yeah.
Band name. Boom. Called
Also, hipster hop.
So,
But Ryan McElmore is pretty much hipster hop.
so
it.
legitimately,
Ryan Mac.
so Zach,
Macklemore.
so Ben, you never saw Warcraft, right?
I've
Did you
not
play
seen one.
Warcraft?
No. I refuse to pay money for a game I already bought.
Well, isn't there a free version you can play?
No,
online?
I just don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
They haven't like upgraded the graphics or anything in like
No.
2
Oh,
decades
no,
or something
no.
like that, right?
No.
I mean, honestly, why would you need to? They just need to upgrade like the
wouldn't you
game
need
mechanics,
to?
or I don't.
because it would take forever.
Part of the
how
biggest
big this
items.
game is.
Just saying, part
Yeah.
of the biggest thing of like new games coming out is
But you build a community. You build a,
Yeah.
You need to. You're hooked, and then you
And to
gotta
a
keep
certain
playing.
extent, people expect the same graphics that they got when they started. So
I guess
Yeah.
They've done texture upgrades and stuff.
texture upgrades.
Which can make a
Upgrade?
surprising
Oh, yeah.
lot of difference.
yeah, like when
High
Halo
resing
upgraded.
textures?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah,
Totally.
textures can make all the difference.
So why didn't you like the movie?
Because it was terrible.
Yeah, tell me why though.
Oh, you want me to elaborate?
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that one of your points was that you were just like,
There-
we didn't know that her as well as
Okay,
we did. And
yeah.
you're like, you met her for like 10
Okay.
minutes.
So, here's the deal. Comes
Okay.
down to a handful of things.
Okay.
Plot, blah blah.
That's one.
Sorry.
Poor enunciation
Blah blah was
By
one
make
of
Good
them.
points.
by many of the characters.
Plot progression was one of them.
Okay.
They consistently jumped from point A to point B without really giving you
Point C.
reasons to go from
Okay.
point A to point B or elaborating on that. It wasn't so much the idea of what they were doing was crazy to me. It was that they never gave you a why to the what
Yeah.
of it. Secondly, I did not care about a single character.
Okay.
Like, mild spoiler, dad loses his son, didn't care. Not in the slightest about that. The kind of awkward romantic relationship that kind of came out of nowhere, like I was talking about, like
Didn't they have that in the
literally,
trailers?
literally came out of
Kind
nowhere.
of, like the human and the orc lady.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
They were
See,
hitting
yeah.
on each other like the entire
Yeah.
time though.
In the trailer.
They really were.
I gathered that from the trailer. So if I could gather that,
They were vibing
Disagree.
on each other the entire time.
And
I saw them
besides,
on
yeah,
screen
but
together.
you know what's gonna happen if there's one orc that looks like a human. Obviously, a
well, and she's
human
like
man's gonna
she's
fall in
like a
love with it.
half
It's,
orc.
It's
so
classic Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
mean,
set
Lord of
up.
the Rings.
Oh yes, classic
No,
Planet of the Apes
Classic,
situation.
you know.
Lord of the
They
Rings.
blew it up.
Lord of the Rings. They had the random dwarf and the random elf.
Yeah, and that
form
was a
a love
stupid
interest.
plot line.
So dumb. Yeah.
That
seen
wasn't
the second
actually
Huzzah
Yeah.
movie. Oh, the
Okay,
third
but
one.
at the same time, the love story in Warcraft was way more subtle than that one. She was like visiting him in prison and stuff like that. And this one, like, yeah, they had a similar scene, but it wasn't like they were making eyes at each other the
It's-
entire time.
It wasn't believable though because they spent so little screen time together. Like,
But if the chemistry's there, doesn't matter how much screen time.
and,
we have.
Yeah,
and just the-
exactly.
I'll
just
wait
the
for you
fact-
for 10 years so I can see you for one day.
and-
It's
and
worth
the-
it, Elizabeth.
It's the
just-
skin, isn't it?
I felt like there was
The skin color. You like the green.
yes.
Get that
You do?
That
Yeah,
She-Hulk
I'm
action.
You do? Well, then
Totally
why'd you have a
into-
problem with the love interest?
Because I wanted her.
Got weird.
Oh.
No, okay. I enjoyed Warcraft. It was a fun movie. Okay, you come in with the
No.
expectation of
You say you hate The Hobbit, and then you come to me with this.
okay. No,
With
no,
this.
no. You cannot compare them. Number one,
Totally
The
compare
Hobbit is in the same universe as Lord of the Rings. Okay,
True.
that's a huge piece right there that goes against The Hobbit
Mm-hmm.
because The Hobbit felt like a video game compared to Lord of the Rings, which felt like a real battle was going on every time they put on the armor, hit shields and swords against each other. It was awesome. But with Warcraft, you understood this is a video game movie from the get-go. So some things felt a little bit more comic-y or fantastical, but everything in the universe
Fantastical.
felt that way. It wasn't like there was this disparity between one episode or one movie or one scene, and another that felt different. So I don't know. I didn't have a problem with it. I can see why you would though. So I'm not against anything
It
that you're
bothers me
saying.
that other people like it.
See, that's where I
I
think
liked
I'll
it.
enjoy
I enjoyed it, yeah.
Because my expectations will be, I
No.
kind of just want fantasy romp where
Yeah.
orcs fight humans and
See, maybe
things look
It
pretty.
was a fun.
That's all I
it was
want
a
from it.
fun
That's it.
blockbuster movie, and for someone
all I
like
want.
me who had never really played Warcraft or anything like that, they really did a great job of just bringing me into the universe, but then at the same time not just sitting there and harping on all these different lore plot lines. Oh my gosh, like
oh my
This guy
gosh.
from this kingdom
Yeah.
15,000 years ago
my
did
buddy who I
this.
went to it with, like he was explaining it to me afterwards. I'm like, holy crap, there's so much lore here. And I watched a bunch of YouTube videos afterwards that explained Warcraft lore and everything. And I really enjoyed how they actually dumbed down the lore for the actual movie. So I
Interesting.
thought they did a fine job. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a perfect movie by any means, but it was, I enjoyed it a lot. It
It's
was
been
fun.
profitable.
So
Highest grossing.
I'm not
highest
saying that
grossing-
you're wrong. I mean, you have valid points. It's just
No, you're
that
saying I'm wrong.
I think that we
we
just
can't be
came
friends
in.
anymore.
We just came in with different expectations or something. So maybe you lowered my expectations and then I had more fun with it. I don't know, but I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it.
I probably do need to go into it again and just be no.
No.
It's gonna be stupid.
You're not going to watch it again.
Probably not. Probably not.
Unless you red box it or something.
Unless we do a bashing.
Oh,
of
we
it.
could do a commentary. Yeah,
It's true.
Sounds good.
I had a similar experience with Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay,
where
yeah.
Everyone said
Yeah.
it was really funny, and I tried watching it. And mind you, the first time I saw it, there were like subtitles
Yeah.
that didn't follow the movie at all.
Nice.
Like just some guy wrote random subtitles.
Nice.
I'm like, this is so dumb. I don't. The humor is just so dumb. I don't get it. And I think maybe I watched it with a friend after that without the subtitles. I'm like, this is so dumb. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few months later, I ended up watching it for some reason, and I'm like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
'Cause it just clicked.
Yeah.
It made sense. So
And then
sometimes, like I said, expectations.
and
are
then
just
sometimes you
different
go in with a
moods or-
crowd, like you said, and it tilts it. And then sometimes you're like me and you watch Dumb and Dumber without anybody around.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
not as funny. So.
You need to watch certain movies.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're gonna welcome
Wrap
to Cheap
that up.
Shot Cinema. We're
Cheap Shot
We're
Cinema.
like 10 minutes into this
We
beast
are
already.
Yep. You're welcome.
So yeah, if you don't know by the voices because you haven't seen us before,
Or the
technically,
elaborate hand
Michael,
Can I officially apologize for
Mike?
that on this one now that we're surely going to be actually on the screen for this? I apologize. My computer went to sleep and
Bush
apparently
League.
we didn't realize, we didn't test it going to sleep at all on us. And so it still recorded the audio obviously, but did not record any of the video. So instead of just having the video cop out halfway through and look really dumb, I just put up the image instead. So my apologies. If it happens again, I told them that they can fire me on this one. So if you're just listening to this one and not seeing it, I will not be here next episode.
you're fired.
Ouch.
I'm Mike.
Zach,
I was gonna say I'm Mike.
You already
just
said
just
you're Zach.
throw people off. Be like
How
the face and
dare
the
you.
voice. They don't
They know
match.
they know Hot Ben when they hear/see him.
yeah.
I'm Ben.
Look at this guy.
Hot
Look
Ben.
at those guys.
Yeah.
Nah.
Actually,
Yeah.
kind of pissed off my boss today by doing that. Okay, not pissed off. He laughed, but I was.
Better than
He's like,
pissed
"Of course
on."
you love working here." I was like, "Meh." Anyways, question for you guys.
All right.
And
So
What's up, girl?
when I watch television,
Yeah.
on the televisor, the one behind us specifically,
yes.
Specifically.
the one that has colors and pictures and sorry, Mike. No. This is Mike.
I see what you did there. Talking mics.
domestic abuse.
So I
Sponsor.
typically go home around like 5:30. Do you guys have like a specific process for like? Do you need to have food or anything like with you? Do you have to make your meal and then find the right TV show before you start eating, or is it just willy nilly?
I will definitely make something to eat if I'm hungry first, then watch something.
Yeah.
So if
Do
I
you
sit
have
down
to
to-
have like something specific lined up though, or do you just?
Well, I mean, usually I'll think about what I want to eat before I get home. Or if I get home, like, oh crap, I'm hungry. Because if I start watching a show, then it's like, well, when do you stop? When do you pause it? Do you watch an episode and then go make something?
That
You gotta
makes
heat
sense.
up something. Usually I'll plan it like if I'm making a pizza, I'll turn on the oven, go down and start watching a show,
Yep.
pause it, put the pizza in, come back or
Mhm.
just plan accordingly.
Well, and honestly, for me, that doesn't happen a lot where I am able to just have a night off and come home and watch TV or something like that
you
right
have
after
a
work.
fiance.
Yeah, I have a fiance now.
Congratulations.
So,
Why am I
I'm sure
smiling?
she's super thrilled that I'm on this right now.
You're happy for your
But
friend.
but I mean, when I do have nights when I come home and just watch a movie or TV, I mean, I'm more of a
Popcorn.
YouTube video watcher than you guys, I think.
Yes.
Maybe. So I usually have like my headphones in and I can pop a YouTube video on my phone in my pocket and either listen or watch that while I prepare my food. And then when my food's all done, then I turn on what I'm going to watch, whether that be, a TV or movie or something like that, and I get all settled in,
That's so
and then it starts.
That's clever.
So, yeah.
So the reason I ask, well, twofold, because I found that this is like way more of a common thing than I thought it was. I thought it was just weird, and it's like I have to have something like pre-selected out in my mind of like what I'm gonna watch, and I have to like have the food prepared, and I have to actually start the show before I can start eating.
Okay.
So it's very odd. Anyways, the second part is recently read an article about the top restaurants in the country, and they did it by
In the
like
country? Wow.
yes,
Okay.
and they did it by like
Jeez.
burger place. And
Okay.
So what do you think?
Right on.
You guys aren't gonna get the number one because actually never mind. It was what do you think the best burger place in the country
in the
is?
country?
Yes, rated.
No place I've ever been.
No,
Are you
These
talking
are
like
like
fast
fast
food?
food. These
Oh,
are like
oh.
chains. Sorry, chains.
Well, I would guess, in my humble opinion, that the best burger joint in America, fast food wise, would be In-N-Out Burger, followed
gonna say the
closely
same
by
thing.
Red Robin.
Ding ding. In-N-Out Burgers, the burger place.
Okay. Red Robin would be my number two.
The big one they were
It's
talking
not really
about
fast food
It's
though.
is
not really, yeah. You're right.
because of Chipotle literally giving us every disease like known to man.
I
pretty
still
much,
think it's delicious,
it's
and I
still
have
the
I
not
best.
haven't
stopped
gotten
eating there.
diseased.
Nope.
Yeah.
No diseases here.
No diseases.
From Chipotle, at least.
I will basically eat there until I get sick, and then it will stop after that.
Dude,
probably.
I got
Well,
sick from China restaurant,
for like a
and that
few
didn't
weeks.
stop me at all.
yeah, probably.
You'll come back.
Yeah.
Ew.
They always come back.
So because of that, the
Mm-hmm.
Mexican place or the like Americanese,
Hmm.
Tex-Mex, whatever you call it, is like Moe's Southwest Grill. Never even heard of it. It's from the South or
You've
something.
never
like
heard
that.
of Moe's before?
Yeah,
I've never been there, but I've definitely seen and heard of Moe's before.
So
There's got to be one around here somewhere.
well,
I feel like
let's
I've seen
Google
one.
it
There's
because I want
Moe's,
to
but
go
not
there.
Moe's. There's like
I'm gonna
Moe's
Google it
Tavern.
right now.
Moe's Tavern.
All right,
Yeah,
and
Moe's Southwest
chicken
Grill.
place.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, man.
There
Is
it
that
is.
even a question?
Yeah, and a bunch of other stuff. Pizza Hut's still the top pizza chain. That kind of surprised me.
Weird.
Okay,
Like,
but I mean,
somebody
what-
else needs to come
what's
into
your
the fold here.
What's your favorite that's like widespread?
Papa John's?
Papa John's.
Okay, that's fair.
You were like,
I mean, legitimately
just
though,
like,
I do
"Aw."
like Papa John's and Domino's way better than Pizza Hut, personally. But Pizza Hut has a great buffet. So if we're talking like food in general, I can see how people would like Pizza Hut.
I'd take Pizza Hut over Domino's.
I would
yes,
not.
I would as well.
I
I
would
like their
not.
crust more.
Even when
They're
Domino's
greasy
like
as crap.
updated
though.
their stuff and we're supposedly like we have a better crust now. I still don't like them that much. All right, moving on. I don't know why I like food.
Food is
Interesting.
great,
so
man.
food's
Burgers.
the best.
Quick side note: the Islander from Blue Door Pub looks amazing. It's like a winner from
I haven't
contest.
been.
It's
I've-
just smothered with cheese
I've
and
never heard of that one before.
vegetable grilled things and more amazing.
I don't like the vegetable part. But besides
well,
that, it's
it looks
good.
like grilled peppers and onions and
yeah,
stuff.
if it's onions.
Yeah, it just looks it, and like mango sauce somewhere in there. Anyway,
Papa
Speaking-
Murphy's.
Speaking of onions,
Uh-huh.
John Boyega's going to be in Pacific Rim too.
You're right, that does talk about
John the
onions.
Onion Boyega. Yes, of course.
As he is known.
Well, Star Wars, he's peeling off all those layers after he crashes. He walks.
Yeah, and then he put
Oh,
on a
that's-
jacket though.
He goes down to his Under Armour, and then he his
Keeps
Stormtrooper
pulling off
Under
those
Armour.
layers.
That would be awesome. if
Anyway,
they did have.
John Boyega, he's a talented
Yeah,
individual.
Pacific Rim 2.
Yeah,
And he's also he was just recently cast in is it
Something.
technically the sequel to Zero Dark
This-
30?
I haven't
it's
heard of
it's
that.
the same.
Zero Dark 40.
You know, I
Yeah.
no. It's I don't know if it's necessarily
Brighter?
a sequel, but it's like a follow up to. It's the same director, I think. I don't know.
Oh,
Don't
she
quote me
did-
on that.
She
I
did the
just
Hurt Locker. And
yeah
stuff
yeah.
like
What's
that.
her face? Yeah, her.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like the
But
one
he was
female
also
director
cast in there.
Hollywood. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, that one.
Well, that's not true either.
that one. It was a joke. There's not very many.
There's not.
Fair enough.
Did you get
Compared
the
to men,
joke?
yeah.
Did you?
There's not very many female directors.
That wasn't
I
a
guess
very
Was
good
not
that
the
the
joke
joke.
punchline
It's
or the
just-
joke?
Uh,
Okay. John Boyega.
it failed, is what happened. We don't
Yeah.
know much about that movie yet.
Yeah, Pacific Rim 2.
Pacific Rim.
Except for the fact that he's going to be Stacker Pentecost's son.
Yes.
So that's
So,
awesome. But
Are
then
they
that-
going to try to trump the name then, or is he going to be like
I don't think you can get better than
Turbo
Stacker.
Pentecost or something like that?
Hey, I wouldn't put it past
Resurrection
him.
Pentecost.
Junior.
his nickname is Rez. That'd be
Rez.
awesome.
High res.
You're welcome.
So didn't they originally think though that movie was going to be set in like outer space though more instead of
Yeah,
just
at least that's what I heard.
specifically
It
on
was
Earth?
it was gonna like flip location. It's gonna be like
Solar
galactic
rim.
solar rim. I think is
Yeah.
actually what it was gonna call. Yeah.
Okay.
Or planetary rim.
Guess with
Not
the maelstrom
planetary rim sounds dumb.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Maelstrom. Yeah.
Maelstrom.
Maelstrom.
That would
Maelstrom.
be cool. I mean, that's what
Maelstrom.
originally we'd heard, but we have no idea. That was a long time ago that synopsis came out and
yeah.
everything. So
Yeah, other than that, I
No
don't think we
idea.
have a lot of details. I don't even know if Charlie Hunnam is,
He's
well, I
rumored.
hope at
rumored
least
to be
part
in-
of the cast is still
Yeah,
there.
I
But
would
it
think
just
you've gotta
depends.
bring in a handful of guys at least just to be kind of like overseers of like this new regimen.
Well, and the thing is that if he's Pentecost's son, Pentecost, spoiler alert, died in the first one, and so, he must have had him at least a couple years back, because really, when we meet him in the movie, he doesn't seem like the marrying type,
Uh-huh.
or even like the dating type. So I don't think that he
He
would
seems like
have
a
any
very
flings
gruff
or
type.
any relationships with anybody, recently. So I'm assuming at that point, John Boyega's character's got to be at least 10 or so.
Unless they cloned him from like
Ooh.
remains of
Yeah, that's
his
gonna
dis-
happen.
deceased
So
body.
Remains that they found at the bottom of the ocean.
Well, before he passed away in his last mission, like someone shook his hand, had sweat on it or something, like some hair, and it's like, oh, we missed that guy.
I honestly wouldn't put it past Del Toro, but
Del Toro isn't gonna direct this one though.
He's
yeah,
a
but he's
producer.
producing.
It's what's his face, the other guy.
You have a face,
I actually was gonna look him up to see what else he'd directed, but I didn't do that. So
but I did.
my bad. So I have no idea. But yeah, that would be really interesting to see. I mean, from when they cut off, we have no idea about the alien technology that created the singularity in general. So we have no idea if like they're prepared to form another one, or if how many aliens out of that alien race or planet like were destroyed or anything like that. So we have no idea like the repercussions of what happened in the first one.
Yeah.
Really.
This is like Independence Day Resurgence,
Yeah.
except with
Giant
aliens
mechs.
that build
Yeah. I mean,
other aliens.
honestly, that
'Cause
singularity.
that was the plot, remember?
That singularity when they popped in there and they're like, oh my gosh, like there's a bunch of aliens and
it was
stuff
really
like that.
colorful. It was
Like
it's
that
bright
could have
in
been
here.
at like in like some warehouse in like the back end of a large alien city, and they just destroyed the warehouse, and we're just like, oh, we killed their whole world, and they're like, you gotta be kidding me,
You
right?
ca- You didn't kill their whole world with a 50 megaton
Yeah.
nuke. I'm sorry, it didn't happen. I mean, Russia has literally blown up parts of itself with 50 megaton nukes, and like nobody died.
I'm gonna
because
look up the facts on that.
Russia's huge
Russia is rather large.
and desolate.
Maybe they
and something
were
joke about
killing,
Putin.
Maybe they're killing aliens.
Jokes about Putin. So yeah,
All right.
we have no
So,
idea. Yeah.
Speaking of Boyega, I'm gonna tie it in real this time and not just
Real.
related to onions because of Star Wars. He was in Star Wars. Do you guys remember him in Star Wars? He was Finn.
Who? John Boyega? Who?
Yeah, he was the black guy in Star Wars. There
Yeah,
was
I do remember
only
Finn.
one.
Yep.
Star Wars.
Yes.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yes. So there's a new Star Wars coming out
Rogue One.
called Rogue One.
Heck yeah.
A Star Wars story.
And we got a lot of details about it in the last 2 days. So
we did.
Funsies.
Did you read up any? Oh, he knows. Ben
Yeah,
knows.
that's the big one right there.
Ben knows.
John Boyega will have a breathing. He smoked too much.
He had
And he was
So-
also very young.
after all that fighting, he took up smoking, and
Yep.
it was
and then
just
travel back in time.
yeah.
Try to reverse the effects.
Him and Cable traveled back in time.
Exactly.
hey, no crap, they're not the same universe. I was gonna be like, hey, same universe. No,
Well,
Not even
according to
close.
what's his face on
Same
Pat
Parks and
Oswalt?
Rec. Yeah, exactly.
Same
Yeah, but
parent
that was-
company.
but
that
it's
was-
not
that was
though because it's
amazing, yeah.
Fox.
Well, like Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel.
Anyways, it's not. No.
Onions, Zach. Onions. Make the connection. So Rogue One
Yeah, you
will
were-
feature.
you were the one who brought in
will
onions
feature
out of
Darth
nowhere.
Vader.
Yes.
We don't know
Vader.
who is it official. Who like will James Earl Jones officially voice him, or is that just?
I
every
would.
rumor?
I
hope
have
so.
no idea,
He's
to be
not
honest
dead
with you.
yet, so why not?
True. And Hayden Christensen
You're not fooling anyone.
was seen on set, or like has been. There's been rumors that he's been brought on
Oh.
to train and stuff. And
Yeah.
that's what I've
Could
read.
he be in the suit?
I imagine he would be. Just because. No, see, it doesn't really bother me because
I don't know. He's not tall enough. He's not.
Like it matters. You don't actually need him
okay.
in the suit. You just need his
Frodo,
face.
Elijah Christensen wasn't 3 feet
Yeah,
tall.
but you think about it. What we were just talking about, like with the reshoots and everything like that with Rogue One,
Yeah.
like if he looks strikingly different compared to everybody else around him, from one movie to another, that's just the exact same thing that we were talking about as far as like tone and stuff like that of the movie.
But I'm saying though, you don't actually need him in the suit. How many guys played the original Darth Vader?
Right, but then
4?
what's his purpose for actually being there? Because you're never going to see
He might take his helmet off at one point in time.
No, I don't think so. Because he's gotten older since. Like, how many years has it been since?
Well,
but it's been.
It'll make sense
18
because
years?
It's been
he's
18
older.
years since his kids were born, and he got his legs cut off
I
by
don't know.
Obi.
I don't know. Because Return of the Jedi is what? How many years after? I feel like I should know that, obviously.
40?
No.
After
Return of the Jedi is how many years after A New Hope?
Oh,
20.
Are you
No,
no,
Return of the Jedi?
No.
like 6.
I'd assume
or
it's like
8.
5 at the most.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
New Hope.
I'm
Okay.
assuming it's like 4
Yes,
or 5.
but this is before A New Hope.
Right, but I'm saying that we see his face at the end of Jedi, and he's like an old man.
Well,
So I don't feel like
Yeah, but
anything
he's
that
not,
they do.
He's not
Based
as
on
old
the
as you think
timeline, yeah,
because
that's the
he's been
thing.
underneath that suit, so it just makes him look old. 'Cause he's
Based
got
on the
notes with
timeline, he
sin,
actually isn't
the sun.
that old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He would be in his 50s, 40s.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Somebody do the math.
I
I
rewatched
don't
it and I remember him being like really like super old, but it was just he didn't look that old.
Because
Right.
okay, what's
No
the
sun's picture.
timeline between the third one and the fourth one, A New Hope?
18
That's
years?
18 years.
18 or
Okay,
19,
so
yeah.
how old was Hayden Christensen? How old was Anakin?
There, he couldn't have been more than
He was what, like late
was
he-
20s?
he's
Not
around-
even
He was
mid-20s?
9 or 10 in Phantom Menace. Then it was 10 years, so he was like 19, and then it was like 2 years. So he was
Okay.
like
Mid-20s.
21.
So he's
yeah.
early 20s.
Early
so he's
20s,
only
yeah.
in his 40s technically when.
Yeah.
So, but
Man,
he just
aged
looks.
terribly.
But his face burnt off,
Jeez.
Mike.
That's true. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that I don't know. I just feel like they could have anybody go in, but at the same time they could really make up Hayden Christensen's face and make him look like he's supposed to. I don't know. I'm just not a big proponent of him actually being in the suit or doing things
or just being a part of this in general because it gives me bad memories.
because we
of,
came
like,
from
PTSD.
such a I don't know, like Anakin was a badass when he was in Revenge of the Sith. He's a great fighter, but like I feel like we've lost so much of that in between until A New Hope when him and Obi-Wan were fighting like old men with their lightsabers. And I mean, obviously part of that was just that they didn't choreograph a good fight scene, but they kind of put that off and said, hey, they're just old men, they're fighting each other. Darth Vader's kind of
Well,
broken down compared to what he's been before in his youth. So like what happened in the in-between to make him deteriorate so much? Like it's got to be the burning.
yeah.
So
Well,
like,
I don't.
I don't know.
I just don't think.
I don't know what I'm trying to get
this-
at here.
this is a-
but
I
it
think
just,
this
it just
is-
sounds weird in my mind.
I think
to have
this is
Hayden
just a
Christensen
plot
there.
hole with a contradiction
Yeah.
of they didn't plan that out
Yeah.
probably as well as they could have.
Yeah.
I mean, based on when Luke and Leia were born,
Mhm.
Anakin probably should have been older.
Yeah.
Probably about 10 years older.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, I don't want this movie to be about Darth Vader, but I want to see him in it.
Yeah.
And so I would rather not see him without his mask on.
I
I'd
wouldn't
rather
either.
just see him as an imposing character,
Well, maybe he's
on
just
the
coming to
battlefield.
check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens.
Yeah,
What
that's
I-
fine.
that's true.
Supervise everything.
I just hope he's like prime Darth Vader.
Yeah.
When I mean that, it's like he's just at the top of his being a total badass.
He's
Because everyone fears Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Why?
yeah.
He
see,
must have
that's
done something somewhere where people are like, "Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, he's a super powerful Jedi."
Yeah.
the,
It
kind
kinda-
of, the thing that's like if he's so broken down by New Hope, like,
Well, he's still. It's not like he's
I
not
don't
powerful
know.
at all.
But that's
Yeah,
there's
that's true.
always
He's
been
still-
contradictions on how powerful Vader is.
Mhm.
And from the books to the video games
Yeah.
to the movies.
and he is very powerful with the Force.
Yeah.
So
That's the
So-
thing too. Yeah, his fighting might suck, but he might
Yeah,
still be a
exactly, his
just a
saber
beast
skills
with
might
the
not be
Force.
the best.
That's the thing. Is I've always wanted to see him in more of like an epic
Mhm.
Being
lightsaber
Darth
battle, but I
Vader.
don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because who's he gonna fight
Mhm.
in this movie?
Well, yeah, because they already said that there wouldn't be a Jedi.
Yeah.
Like, there's no. That's sort of the point of
So-
Rogue One, that there's no Jedi's to save them.
Yeah, that's
So if you
true.
just saw Darth Vader just like coming and tearing it up,
Mhm.
be that with a lightsaber with the Force, that's even better because like there's no one to stop him. So
Mhm.
you even get the sense that he's more powerful because no one's opposing him.
Right.
So maybe he's not as strong as other Jedi, but
Yeah.
since no one's opposing him, he just seems that more intimidating.
Either way, I'd rather not see him without his helmet on, personally. So I
Yeah.
don't care who plays him.
Well, that I don't disagree with that sentiment. I'm just saying if you have him take his helmet off, have it be Hayden. Why not?
That's fair. Yeah.
So another thing that they went into a little
Sorry.
more depth on is they went into the details of the character specifics and who's playing who. Forrest Whitaker is actually playing a character that was already seen in
Clone Wars, yeah.
Has he also been seen in Rebels or just Clone Wars?
As far as I know, only in
haven't seen
Clone
Rebels
Wars. Yeah. I've never seen Rebels.
So that's kind of cool. A tie-in to
Oh yeah, the
one
show.
of their
Yeah. So
shows.
he was on the planet Onderon, at least in the episode that I saw. And fun fact, they were trying to retake the city of Isis.
Nice.
It's spelled differently, but it sounds the same. It's like with Archer.
ISIS. Yeah, I'm pretty
ISIS,
sure
and then
when
that
Archer
happened.
went to Archer Vice,
Yeah.
they did that specifically because
They did.
guys, we can't have a company called ISIS
being the good
Come
guys,
on.
yeah.
So So really quickly, Felicity Jones is a streetwise delinquent. We kind of know her story. She's kind of recruited to go undercover
Yeah.
type of situation. Then there's the captain, Cassian
Diego
Andor.
Luna, yeah.
Yeah. Very diverse group of
Yes.
actors, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, that'll be
they
fun.
were definitely heavy on the white males previously.
European
true.
white males.
It's true.
So
For the
running
rebellion
everything.
being like a good mix of people from all different worlds, all different
Ragtag.
like alien races and everything like that, it just makes sense. So I'm glad that they were able to make that more of a thing, as
So,
opposed to
Actually do
1977
it.
with George Lucas.
just
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you,
Disney
Logic.
and Lucasfilm for bringing that into consideration.
Yeah.
So yeah, Captain's like by the book, been around
One
the
of
block.
those guys.
Straight-laced.
Straight laced. The Donnie Yen's character is the one that probably intrigues me most.
yeah.
He's actually blind,
Yes.
but he's not a Jedi, but he's very spiritual in the Force.
Well,
so
he follows the Jedi code, I think, is what they
Yes.
said. Yeah. So that's super interesting.
he
yeah.
actually can use he's got enough Force power to
Yeah.
compensate for his blindness, which
Yeah.
is cool.
Well, and
So-
honestly, people were at first speculating, and I don't know if this quashes that or if it doesn't affect it at all, but people were at first speculating that Donnie Yen's character might be like a former Royal Guard, which is like the guys in the red suits who protect the Emperor, and they're like the biggest badasses in all of the Empire, basically,
Oh, yeah.
besides
Guys
Darth
in red.
Vader. Or, Jedi,
Jedi.
Dark Jedi or Sith.
Force
But they're
users.
awesome. So they were saying he might have a force pike there and stuff like that, which still might be the case.
Possibly.
And that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's
It would
Donnie
be
Yen.
really cool.
Donnie
yeah.
Yen's baller sauce.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's the thing. Yeah.
Baller sauce. It is a thing. Look it up.
Look it up.
Don't look that up. Don't, please. Don't look that up.
I'm sure that's not good.
Okay, the only other one that I really care about is Alan Tudyk's
Yeah.
robot character.
Yeah,
or-
the security droid.
It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like the
Droid.
character from Kodar.
he's like, they describe him as the opposite of C-3PO. He's like,
which is totally fine with
he's
me.
also baller sauce. Don't look it up. And doesn't care about what people think of him.
BS.
He's just there to literally lay some smacks down.
I'm fine with that. Plus
Which-
Alan Tudyk, man. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
I love it.
I kind of feel bad because I feel like Alan Tudyk's good enough where I feel like he needs to be in more live action roles. He does a lot of voiceover stuff and he does a lot of stuff like this where it's what's it?
CG character. Or...
Yeah, it's
Motion capture.
motion capture.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but
Fine.
I'm excited.
Then you go make a movie and put him
I'm
in there,
excited.
Zach.
He's
I'm
in A
sh-
Knight's Tale. Boom. Got one.
Yeah, he was.
There you
that's
go.
right.
So yeah, that's kind of cool. And then there's a handful of other characters and stuff like that. But yeah,
Apparently, we can gloss over those.
We can. They're not
No.
Alan Tudyk
Cool.
or John Boyega.
Sounds good. John who?
John the Onion Boyega.
Oh, okay. That's true.
I'm so happy that that's
Wonder
going to
what-
be a thing now.
Wonder
Okay.
what Alan Tudyk's middle name
We're
is.
I don't know.
going to continue along this line of very heavy
Eggplant?
sci-fi specific
I'm
episode
fine with that.
of Cheap Shot Cinema.
Why not?
So, what was it? Popular Mechanics, I believe. 1 second. Put out a list of I don't think they went anything by this specifically, but it's what they think the 50 greatest sci-fi TV shows ever.
Oh,
and
wow.
we're not going to
Wow.
go through this
Wow.
entire list because we experienced this before.
Let's go through
But-
very shortly and then
One
spend
sentence.
10 minutes on the first one.
Everybody shut
10
up.
minutes.
Guys, quickly.
Yeah. Guys.
Yeah, just read a couple.
What do you guys think is what they rank?
Sci-fi television shows?
TV show.
Like
Wow.
the best of all time. Like,
That's
are you
really tough.
asking us to guess what the best one was?
Doctor Who would be my top for best sci-fi. That's got to be it. I mean, it's spanned the ages. It's got some great lore. It's really cool. It's definitely sci-fi-y.
I want to say,
I know.
for some odd reason, it's one of the Stargates.
Okay.
Stargate.
I would probably put like
I want to say Firefly, but maybe
Yeah,
like
I
the
would-
original Star Trek
I would
series.
personally put like Firefly or like Battlestar Galactica.
That's got to be up there somewhere.
Or I don't. The problem is that which Star Trek would you take as the best one, according to popular mechanics?
Gosh, this is intriguing.
Like,
Which one?
I would assume based on like what I've seen of fans that it would be
Next generation.
Next generation.
Next Generation, yeah, or
Picard versus Kirk.
yeah, because you have a big
Picard all
heavy
the way.
hitter like Picard, yeah.
All the way. Picard.
Do you guys
Yeah.
want to know? Do you guys want?
Yeah,
do you
sure.
guys want to know?
Are you just gonna give us the top one? Yeah, let's do it.
No, I'll go through a couple
Okay.
others.
Yeah, give us. A
Doctor
couple.
Who is number one.
I called it. Yeah.
I'll give you the top.
I've never
10
seen Doctor Who
right
so
off the bat,
I
and I'll
don't
tell
know.
you some problems I have with this list.
Okay.
Sure.
So it goes Doctor Who, X Files,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Actually,
never
I'm
really
only
seen
gonna
a
give you
lot
the
of
top 5.
X-Files.
I guess that's sci-fi.
Doctor Who, X Files,
Mhm.
Next Generation,
Okay. Yep.
Battlestar Galactica.
Yep.
Crap, what's the name of this show? The Scary Door.
The Scary Door.
No, what?
Twilight
That's
Zone.
that's the Futurama version.
Twilight.
Of
Scary door.
Welcome to the Scary Door.
the Scary Door in Hypnotoad. No, the Twilight Zone is
Oh,
number
okay.
5.
I didn't even
Okay.
think of that honestly.
So
Yeah, me neither.
some mild surprises.
Okay. We
Fringe,
guessed a lot of those good ones.
Fringe is actually ahead of Firefly on this list.
Really? Well, I mean, it lasted longer, so
That's true,
you got to kind of
Firefly.
give them. I mean, they had more time to actually develop their story,
I've
so
never
that's fair.
heard a science fiction show talked about as much as people talk about Firefly.
Well,
though.
that's because it only lasted for so long.
Burned.
If it would have had 5 seasons like Fringe, then it probably wouldn't be talked about as
so.
much.
True.
How high up
What-
is
yeah,
Fringe?
what-
Because I love
Or
Fringe.
where was
but
Firefly?
I knew it wasn't.
So Firefly
Fringe
was
is
10?
9.
Fringe is 9.
Wow, that's higher than I thought
Firefly
it would be.
is 11.
Okay, that's
Didn't even
fine.
make top 10.
So
I want to know the top 10 then,
Yeah.
because I didn't think that Fringe would be up that
Well,
high.
if it
I know
looks-
I like it, but I assumed
these
other
links
people
didn't work earlier, so
Okay,
if I
no
can
worries.
get them to work, no, they're not going to work.
They're
What else
actual
would be?
links you have to click on.
Anyways.
Clickbait. Come on. I
Oh,
hate the way
jeez.
that our world is structured these days.
Yeah. I love that people like stop clickbait, like that's becoming a hashtag now.
Stop clickbait.
Yeah. Where it'll be like, you won't believe what this cat does when its owner shows up. And the person, when you click on it, like in the comment section, will be like, it purred. Stop clickbait.
Yep,
Hashtag
exactly.
stop clickbait.
Yep.
Yeah.
I never click on any of those that say that
The-
dot
oh
stuff
yeah,
anymore.
they're the worst
Yeah.
because then it'll be like I've clicked on 1 or 2, but then each page will have only like a sentence. And it's the next page, next page.
Yeah,
next page.
exactly.
I'm like 5 pages to get a paragraph
It's like
of
it's
stuff.
like top 10 list of blah blah blah, and then every one of them is 2 different images, or it's like the
Oh,
image
yeah.
of the thing, and then the first point, and then the second point, and
Yeah.
then the second one.
Yeah, where
and
it's
you're
the
like, come on, man.
slideshow where it's like it's 2 slides to go through 1 sentence of information. It's like, thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, no. Anyways,
dirty.
biggest problem I have with that list though, Futurama's like in the low 20s.
See, I didn't even think of Futurama.
No,
I didn't think of it.
it's totally. People
probably
don't thi-
what happened.
People don't think of
guess
it because
It's animated.
there's no,
and it's
it's
a
not
comedy.
Even, I don't even think it's the animated. It's the comedy
Yeah.
portion. There's not sci-fi comedies.
Too funny. Yeah.
Like
True.
they don't exist. Sci-fi comedies.
There's
don't
sci-fi
exist.
shows with comedy elements, but
Right.
not just straight up sci-fi comedies.
Right. Yeah, I always think of Futurama as a comedy first.
There was a British one, and it was super weird, like a sci-fi comedy, like just
Well, Doctor
super.
Who is fairly funny.
The Red Dwarf. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know, but like
Okay.
there's like people.
I would
licking other
look, but my
people,
phone
and
stopped
it's weird.
doing things that I wanted.
That's
it
all
to
right.
do,
No
so-
worries. I mean, that's popular
So-
mechanics for you.
Hey, I mean,
Yeah,
Futurama
thanks
was
a
on-
lot, popular mechanics. Your
Talking
mechanics aren't working. correctly.
Unpopular opinions.
All right, we're gonna keep it in science fiction.
Oh,
I'm fine with this.
Alien news.
Yeah,
Multiple
yeah.
alien news, actually.
That's actually really intriguing. Yeah.
So, Covenant's coming out sometime. I want to say sometime next year.
Sometime.
or is
Sure.
it?
It's
Sure.
coming out sometime.
So they've cast, originally thought that Michael Fassbender was going to be the only one coming back as David.
Yeah. Yep.
And then they cast like Danny McBride's in it, which is interesting to me.
I like that casting.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued.
And then they cast
He's the
who
alien.
they think is Ripley's mother, possibly hasn't been released, but that's kind of speculation. Is it's Ripley's mother is the main female that's going to be in the movie.
Okay.
And but recently announced they didn't think nobody really thought it was going to happen, but Noomi
Nomi Rapace, yeah.
Noomi.
I think that's how you say is Nomi Rapace.
Namamomi?
No. Nomi.
That sounds right to me.
She's coming back as Elizabeth Shaw.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Was she
I
the
don't
one
know
had,
what
like, an
that really
alien come out
means
of
to
her?
me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then she like had the alien
And just like
and then like
burned it
So,
or, like, put it in
actually-
stapled
suction.
herself back together and fought it off.
So this is what happened.
Awesome.
Badass.
And then ran
So-
directly away from the ship.
This process is actually funny to me. So David dips his finger with the goo on it in
Yeah.
the guy's drink.
Yep.
He ingests it. So he basically is now impregnated with the goo.
Can you say impregnated again?
Impregnated. That's what we're going with.
All right, sounds good.
I got it. The joke.
We're all on the same page here, Mike. Come on.
It's like
Anyways,
it's like in the thing when he's like using the defibrillator.
yeah, sure. I don't know.
Don't you remember?
What are
You
you
never
talking
seen
about?
the thing? All right, spoilers. Never mind.
Anyways,
watch the
so
thing.
he and Elizabeth Shaw have relations, and then she
Oh.
gets impregnated with the squid monster, which she then takes
Hashtags?
out of herself.
it.
Tag.
Happy birthday.
Which then it grows up and then impregnates the engineer, who then has the first.
Lots of
alien.
stuff happens.
So
in
a
that movie.
lot of people being impregnated.
I'm so glad you said that like 5 times.
Anyways, I don't know where
Sci-fi.
I don't know where you're
where
going
I
with
was
that.
going with any of
Nomi
this.
Rapace is casting is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm intrigued to see what they do with the actual
that's-
plot of the movie.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm not really sure what that means to me. I didn't really care. A lot of people are like, why isn't she in it? Well, she was human. She probably died at some point in time, unlike David, who apparently
Yeah.
can't die.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he is a
which
robot.
I am
There you
He is a robot.
actually.
Rubits.
I love Michael Fassbender. He's more intriguing to me, anyways. He
He's
was
super creepy.
he
as
was
David.
probably the best part.
He's super
of,
creepy.
of Prometheus.
I never trusted him from the get go.
Well, that's because he was
Wasn't he
working
super
for.
skinny in that movie too, or skinnier?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Than
he
Michael
was
Fassbender
he was
usually is?
smaller.
He had a
He's-
comb over. I think that's what set me off. Yeah.
You never
Yeah.
trust a man with a comb over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hashtag
other
Hitler.
Hashtag a bit too far.
so other characters, Billy Crudup. Is that how you pronounce it?
Credit. Yeah.
I
Crudup.
don't know.
He was Dr. Manhattan,
Yes.
and
That
then
guy, the blue one.
The blue one,
Catherine
yes.
Catherine
So
Watterson
blue.
is the main new female character, and that's who they think will potentially be Ripley's.
I'd say hello to her.
Ripley's mother. Well, hello.
Just like walking down the grocery aisle, like, hey.
Ever seen her in anything?
Inherent Vice. She's been in. Jeez,
Yeah, I've
Mike.
not seen that. So.
Or Michael Clayton.
yeah, I
or
never
it
wanted to
looks
see
like-
that.
It
I don't
looks
know what
like
that
she
is.
might be in.
Please regale me with the other things that she's been in.
I thought the trailer that popped up when I clicked her page was Fantastic Beasts.
And where to find
Well,
them?
I've never seen that either. So
Yes,
It's not out yet.
it is not out yet.
what?
Way to
Uh-huh.
I'm excited. It looks
Spoiler
pretty cool.
alert.
So,
that
They
movie's
just
not
came
out
out
yet.
with a new poster for that. It looks pretty
Ooh.
cool. I like
I'm
it.
very excited.
He's
about
just
that
sitting
movie.
next to the train
Harry
tracks.
Potter
Looks
is
cool though.
a guilty pleasure for me. I love
It's
it.
just a pleasure for me.
Yeah,
I love.
No
yeah,
guilt.
I would
No
say
guilt.
there's not a lot of guilt there.
No guilt.
I didn't. It was one of those I did not anticipate liking it, and I love those.
Just such a great little
those
little
movies.
universe right there.
Yeah, they're such fun movies. Are you
Done.
Are you dry?
Looks like he
I'm
was
dry.
cheering to Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Cheers
I
to
could
Harry.
go get another one, but that would mean I'd get up out of my chair.
Yeah,
So-
and you
We
probably
can't-
unplug something
we
on the
can't
way
have
of
that.
doing things.
I just jump behind
So-
you guys.
So
Not
there,
allowed. Go on.
Go on.
Go on.
okay. There's further alien news,
Yeah.
and this
So I've
is
heard.
actually more intriguing to me.
Okay.
And I've had, other than Sigourney, man, I can't talk.
Sigourney
Yeah.
Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver.
Skerner. SW.
Other than her coming out with information, I don't think we've had anything specific from like a studio or a director. But she says Neil Blomkamp's 5th Alien movie will happen. Now, I don't know if that's just her being like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely going to happen, and because she wants it to happen, or if that's like legit news. But that one is just as intriguing to me as Covenant.
So
a
separate Aliens movie. Okay.
I liked Prometheus more than a lot of people because I
Prometheus
don't think there was nearly as many plot holes in Prometheus
Mm-hmm.
as people say they were. Just because they didn't answer a lot of your questions doesn't mean that's a plot hole.
Yeah.
I mean that could come up later. Where
Hashtag lost.
yeah, exactly. But at the same
bitter at
time,
all.
Alien and Aliens were great, and then
Yeah, that was
3
good.
and Resurrection were poo.
Poopy.
So what they initially talked about is this would kind of usurp.
Mhm.
Nice, good word, Zach.
Yeah, I like
Thanks,
that
guys.
word.
Mm-hmm.
This would usurp 3 and 4, and it would
As
be
it
just
should.
kind of
Yeah.
a true sequel to Aliens.
Yep.
And it would bring back Ripley. It would bring back Newt, possibly, and bring back the one other soldier. I can't think of his name. He
That
was
one guy.
John Connor in the original Terminator.
I don't care.
So yeah.
Cool.
So
Game over, man. Game over.
you guys have no opinion on this?
Not really.
I've never seen Aliens. I mean, I'm not
The second
opposed
one?
to it.
Okay.
Any of them.
Oh wow.
I just haven't.
Have you seen
So-
Prometheus?
I did actually.
Okay.
I
Well,
thought it
that's
was
not a
alright.
horrible place to
it's-
start.
It's funny because
I'd like to see Aliens,
I
though.
mean, we've had all these different, I don't know, just breaking news items about both Ridley Scott and what's his face,
Neil
Blomkamp. That's right.
Blomkamp.
And
Coming
the-
out with movies in like the Alien universe, but I mean, legitimately, they're not going to be filming one and then be like, oh, we're gonna also make this one in addition. Like, I feel like they're gonna go through the timeline, and it seems like they're really prioritizing Ridley Scott's part first.
Yeah.
So whenever Ridley Scott's done making Alien movies, then they'll go Blomkamp. But I don't even know if he'll be interested at that point. Because, I mean, you look at, like, James Cameron doing, like, 15 Avatar movies. It's like,
It's not gonna happen.
sometimes
Not gonna
these,
happen.
if these are successful, which I'm assuming that they will probably fairly well might be, then, it might be a long time before we see Blomkamp's version again.
Do
So,
you want to put a bet on this? Anybody put a few bucks? Anybody?
what would you suggest? Like how far do you think it'll be?
I don't know. I don't believe in it that
Like
much.
we're
to
we're
be
talking
honest.
about from like opening date, or are we talking about like start
No,
of production or
that
something?
production will be started.
Well, I
on
have
that
no
in
idea
the
about
next-
that. I mean, that could happen
I'll even put a
anytime.
date
I
on
mean,
it.
you
though.
can say
I'd
production started now.
Yeah.
production would start in the next
what
2
type
Yeah.
of production?
years.
I mean, is that like the writing of the script or what?
The actual filming.
Casting?
The man says we're doing it.
Yeah.
that it's okayed by the studio.
No, then I have no idea. No
Like I
idea.
said,
Even
you could
then,
put like a
okayed by the
2-year.
studio.
Well, Marvel Studios okayed like all of their movies
Yeah,
3 years ago.
Inhumans.
So,
Back in, like-
I'm not going to guess on what they have on the slate 10 years
Okay,
from now.
fine. Filming starting then.
Filming starting, I would probably say give it a good 7 years before Blomkamp's is filming.
Yeah, they can't wait that long if they're gonna have Ripley in it.
Yeah, I don't think
She's already in her
I don't think it's going to
mid-60s.
happen until 7 years from now.
I don't know.
That's my guess. I don't know.
But that's the thing though. We're okay, if this is Ripley's mom in this one,
Mhm.
what are you gonna do in between?
I have no idea.
I don't think there's another movie.
Apparently they
line.
have storylines, so
Whatever. Anyways, this was uneventful.
nobody took my bet on the record.
So you win.
What's the
7
bet?
years.
Yeah, he gets a bet 7 years.
How
You're-
much you want to bet? Wait, this is gonna be stupid. We're not gonna hold this bet that
No,
long.
we're not. No, we're
No.
not.
So
I
Mike
would definitely
wins.
bet you money, but I'm not gonna wait around that long to be
That's
like.
just my guess then. We'll just keep that on record. I
It's
say
called a
7
guess.
years.
I say they begin filming in 2 years.
Wow.
I say 4.5 years.
Wow. All right.
I don't know.
It's recorded, guys.
Zach, you
This
might as well
is
bet
history.
$1. Yeah.
True.
All right. Sounds good.
It's going to the douchebag jar.
The winner of the bet. That's not how a douchebag jar works.
Whatever.
Anyways,
That's it. That's all. No, I'm kidding.
So I wouldn't have made that bet if I knew
That's all.
that's
she
where I
wrote.
was going.
All right. So, how do you guys rate your movies? Like, what's important?
Like overall, like favorite
Like,
movies ever.
No. I'm just saying when you're watching a movie, in your mind, your opinion, what makes it good?
If I want to rewatch it once I'm done watching it,
So
that's one of my criteria.
watchability.
Watchability and rewatchability.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if I care about the characters, then it's a good storyline that really covers over a lot of bad things that could happen in it. Like, I mean, I wasn't satisfied with the end of Moneyball, but I still love the movie.
But that's based on a true story, though.
Well, no, but I mean, that's the thing is that it doesn't even have to have a good ending necessarily for me to enjoy the ride in between. So I still bought the movie and enjoy it and watch it. You know, nerded out about the numbers and stuff like
Watchability,
that. Yeah. So
Characters.
yeah, or just the journey that takes place in the middle of the movie. Like, it
So-
doesn't have to have a epic beginning or end or anything like that. It doesn't even have to have a satisfying payoff.
So for like me, it's story and plot progression.
Okay.
Because that can cover up a lot of
Bad characters,
bad. Yes.
bad action.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
So why didn't you like Warcraft?
Because it had terrible story and plot progression.
It had great. It was awesome.
Plot progression was the worst.
If characters are bad and there's poor acting, a great story can't save it for me. Because like you just suck at your job
I mean,
and you're
yes,
rooting
this
for me.
this is all relative.
True.
But
Depends on the movie
yeah,
and
it depends
genre.
on how bad the acting is compared to like you're not gonna have a movie with great story and plot progression and just have atrocious acting. I mean,
Have you seen Skyline before?
typically.
No, I actually haven't.
Don't.
No,
I think you were the one who told
I've
me
heard
that.
about the ending of that movie though. My brother told me about it.
that ending is cool, but the rest of the movie blows chunks.
So the ending's good.
The ending's
Well, then I might go see
ridiculous.
Well,
it.
it's dumb.
I might
it's
see it then.
ridiculous.
No,
the
you
You
ending.
guys aren't
like-
ruining this for me at all.
No, there's
Well, then you might as well
So-
tell me right now.
So my example was going to be like Mad Max is like amazing visually, but it's great because it still has a solid plot progression and you bond with the characters. But
Okay.
I've seen movies that are like indie movies, super low budget that didn't have great acting and the action was poor just because they didn't have the budget to do it, but the story and how it moved still made it a solid movie. Anyways, so basically the way that we're ranking things are all on positives though.
yeah. Oh,
not
for sure.
not on negatives
For sure. No.
of we're ranking movies. But so
I mean, it goes into the ranking if something negative comes up.
Yeah.
You factor
yeah,
in both.
something
Or
negative
a
comes
lack of
up.
positive.
Yeah, like that movie sucked. I'm giving it a good ranking.
The reason I
That's
bring
not
it
how
up
that
though
works.
is because estately.com made a
Never
ranking.
heard of that before.
I mean,
Yeah.
Estately.com.
Yeah, I think that's
Did you
how
make
it's
that up
pronounced.
just now?
Shut up.
you might have.
Just
He just
they
registered
ranked
that domain.
they ranked all 50
yesterday.
states
Okay.
best to worst, but the way they ranked them was by a few categories.
Negatives.
Yes.
Okay.
Arby's locations per capita, vape shots. Okay. Vape shots. Dang it, I did it again. Shops per capita.
Okay.
Google searches by people looking to buy hoverboards per capita. Total number of Nickelback concerts per capita. Facebook fans of the singer Chris Brown in each state. Magicians per capita. And some people expressing interest in Goop, which is Gwyneth Paltrow's lifestyle
At
publication.
first, I was annoyed by this, but then it got really funny towards the middle.
Yeah, the Nickelback started to
I like the Gwyneth Paltrow thing at the end there.
So,
That's good.
we are here in Minnesota.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
Where do you guys think Minnesota landed on this
Uh,
list
We
of
have a lot of
Okay.
vape shops.
Do we have a lot of magicians? I feel like not.
Probably not a lot of
Probably not a
musicians.
lot of friends of Chris Brown either.
friends?
Fans.
I'm assuming that a lot of people probably Googled hoverboards.
Oh, yeah.
so
We
there's
got a lot of
that.
hipsters.
Hipsters.
A
A lot of vape shops.
I'm
for the
sure that there's
hipsters.
hipsters or just people who ironically looked up Gwyneth Paltrow.
So there are 51 here
I
because
would-
of DC. Just so you guys
You know, I would probably guess that we're around 16. That's my guess. 16.
One being the worst.
Yeah. One
No,
being,
no,
one
one's-
being the best.
One's the best of the ones that didn't have.
Those things.
These
okay.
things.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I'm assuming we're number 16.
Oh man.
Just throw out a number. It doesn't matter.
$1.
I'll say number 32.
Wow. Okay.
We are the best of the lousiest and lousiest of the best. We are number 25. So
like right in the
right
middle
in the middle
of where Ben and I guessed. What'd you guess?
32.
Okay, so you got closer technically.
Yeah, but he went over. This is
Oh, so I win
You
because
didn't
Price
say
is
that.
Right rules.
Price of Right rules, man.
Well, I did
Price
say you
of
can
Right
bet
rules.
$1. So
Anyways,
It's not always Price is Right.
Nevada surprisingly is number
25th.
1.
okay.
But I mean, if you're going by
Does
like-
Nickelback do a lot of concerts there or something? Or
no, Nevada's number 1 meaning good.
oh,
I thought it would
okay.
have been like Montana or
So
something.
number 51 has the most of these things.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
who's number 51?
New Hampshire,
Wow.
the worst. I'm
Okay.
never going there. Off of my
I
list.
heard their trees are great in the fall.
Yeah, I've actually heard great things about New Hampshire. So
And don't they have like a football team that wins a lot of games?
No, that is not a thing
New
at all.
Hampshire,
No. Where do the Patriots play from?
not New,
New England?
Hampshire.
New England.
It's
I think
well, I mean, they probably cheer
is it
for
New
them in
Jersey?
Hampshire.
Where's Foxborough? Foxborough, right?
I'm pretty sure it's a suburb of Boston.
So Foxborough, Massachusetts. I don't
Oh,
know.
Massachusetts,
apparently
there you
don't know geography. But yeah, they're in Foxborough.
Massachusetts.
All right.
Anyways,
Texas toast.
That wasn't as fun as I thought it'd be.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The more you know, though. It was funny how they ranked it.
that's true.
True.
It was.
All
That's
right.
a clever way of doing it.
We're gonna wrap up here a little
Okay.
bit, sort of, kind of, with our final topic.
Oh.
Mostly because I want to hear
I see what you did there. That was good.
Ben talk about E3.
You didn't rap though.
I was getting to it.
Yeah. Let's talk about E3.
Let's talk about E3.
Let's talk about E3.
We don't have to go into like super detail.
Oh, talk, but don't talk too much.
Please don't.
Please don't talk, but don't talk too much.
Please talk.
Please talk. Continue talking.
I'd love to
Yes.
hear what you were saying
I
about
could
E3.
just
Keep
watch
going.
your mouth all day, honestly.
That's probably one of the weirder things you said out of the multiple things that you said to me on this podcast. But, that's okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Raising that bar. Of
Raising that
weirdness.
bar.
Yeah,
Our
so E3
lords.
is still going on, right? Or is it done?
E3 is over.
Okay.
E3 stands for the Electronic Entertainment Expo. It's all about video games. E3.
Video games.
Video games.
Mhm.
And it's where a lot of big announcements will come out. So like, hey, we're announcing our new Xbox or our new like flagship title.
Yep.
So most publishers have a big presence there. Sans Nintendo.
Good
Or
word.
minus Nintendo.
That sounds worked.
But they did show off Zelda was sort of a really big thing. I mean,
Yeah.
you go to any like just generic gaming blog.
What is it, like
or
Call of the
anything.
Wild or something like that?
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. There you go.
Call of the Wild.
It was
Into
close.
the Wild.
Call of the Wild. Press 1 to 1. Because the Wii has the 1 and 2 anyway.
Oh gosh, yeah. I was like, I have no idea. Is that like on a,
the
like
Wii
a
remote?
phone call or
The
something?
Wii remote.
Press 1.
Yes.
Welcome to
You did
Movie
it.
Phone. Press 1. Habla español or something.
Habla español.
Yeah, that's what they say.
We're just all
So,
failing.
habla
I
español,
did
press
see
1.
that trailer though. That was a cool looking trailer.
Yeah. So it should be fun.
Yeah. Looked like
what's
The Witcher.
Ow.
It was like open world, like The Witcher.
it is
Well,
open world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Artistically, doesn't look like it, but yeah,
Oh,
it's
no,
more
no.
it's more of an open world. You can
Yeah.
get quests. It's more like Skyrim meets
Yeah.
Zelda, essentially ish.
Yeah, The Witcher.
Skyrim meets Wind Waker, kind of. Zach's like nothing can be Skyrim meets anything. Skyrim is Skyrim.
Special edition, man. That's what I wanted to talk about.
The HD
Oh,
upgrade.
yeah. that's
oh
true.
my gosh.
Yeah.
I have not been this excited about anything. in
Heads
like a
up,
really
Zach
long
really
time.
likes Skyrim.
Skyrim is probably the game that I've put by far the most hours into. And I've been waiting. I've wanted them
Ooh,
just
so
to do backwards
raw.
compatibility on it, but this is even better.
There you
This is
go.
better.
They're up in the ante.
So yeah, I mean, hopefully they'll have faster loading times and the
Hopefully,
visuals will be more impressive and
more visual.
more. Yes,
Visuals
Yes.
would be more visual.
they will.
Yes,
be
these
more
visuals, I
visual.
can see them better.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yes. Add more visuals.
Let's make the
I'm
sounds
super
more
excited.
Improve the
sound.
graphics on level 3.
I will say overall, I mean, I watched very little of it, but I thought Sony won again. Just their
Show
what do you
your
call it
work.
when it's a release on just one console?
Console exclusives.
Exclusive. Their exclusives to me seemed way better than the Xbox's
They have
exclusives.
some cool ones. I didn't watch the conference itself for Sony. I read a lot of the news.
Yeah.
What I was really surprised at is they're making Spider-Man
Mhm.
by Insomniac, which makes Ratchet and Clank more like shooter-based type games. but it's exclusive for PlayStation 4. And I
Yeah.
thought that was really interesting.
That is
'Cause
really
you've never
interesting.
seen like Spider-Man has been out on GameCube, Xbox.
All of them,
He's been
yeah.
on everything always.
Yeah.
It's
And to
not
have, like-
connected to anything
No,
movie
it's-
wise.
yeah,
They've
it's
always
not.
gone across platforms. Yeah.
But yeah, to be
Huh.
like Sony owns, I know the movie rights to
Yeah.
Spider-Man, but like to
Huh.
have them,
Never
especially
even
with
thought of that. That kinda
especially
makes sense.
I don't know, but especially with the new Spider-Man movie coming out next year,
Uh-huh.
you'd think they'd want to just like give Spider-Man to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh crap, Spider-Man game, sweet.
You
Want to
know-
buy me some Spider-Man? Maybe that was part of the deal.
That I was gonna
Sony
say
cut.
that was part of the
Hmm.
deal Sony cut was we get exclusive rights to merchandising.
Huh.
Yeah,
So
that
It's a
might be-
really. I didn't
Yeah, 'cause
realize
they
that
get-
they were just going on the
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Maybe
so that's
it's-
really impressive.
Yeah, it might just be timed exclusivity, but the hashtag
Yeah.
is like Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah.
So
mhm, mhm.
Well, it turned into another reason for people to buy the PS4 if they like
which
the
is
game.
smart. Yeah, 'cause
So
it
yeah.
looks, Insomniac is a solid company.
I mean, maybe it's just because like they're releasing it around the time when they put out the new consoles and stuff like that. I mean, is that the case or
New
no?
consoles.
Are they going to come out with new consoles
No.
at the same time or no?
I think Spider-
PlayStation's coming out with a VR,
Okay,
but
gotcha.
and
Yeah.
Xbox has got the One S.
Yeah, and
but-
they were talking about some kind of like Project Scorpion or
Yeah.
Scorpio or something like that.
Microsoft did a really weird thing where they announced their Xbox, the small version, the Slim,
Uh-huh.
which is thinner, runs a little bit better than Xbox One, but
Yeah.
graphically, puts it does the same thing. But then, like right after, like we also have Scorpio coming out, which is like hella powerful and runs VR, and pretty much you don't need an original Xbox One because it's way cooler. But that comes out next holiday.
Interesting.
Anyway,
Well,
Huh.
they always do this. I mean, every
not really. Announce one console and then immediately announce another console.
Yeah.
no, I'm not
That's
saying that.
way
I'm
more
saying
powerful
they,
than the console
they,
that already exists.
They typically announce things way ahead of time, though.
Yeah, but not back to back.
Yeah.
You announce one thing and you just completely overshadow it with
Yeah.
another thing. Like, why buy Xbox Slim?
Yeah, yeah.
When you
Why
can
are
just
you-
wait a few
Yeah.
more months and get a Scorpio.
Well, what are the details on that? Is it another? Is
Oh.
it legitimately another Xbox?
it's like super. It's way more powerful.
It'll replace
well,
everything.
But they all
the
work
reason
together, so you're like splitting your demographic.
Yeah.
It's just it seems
That is
weird.
really weird because it's like, why would you even offer this other version of what you already have when you're announcing something that's going to come
can-
out that's going to trump everything?
I can kind of see it because I guarantee it's going to be $300 to $400 more expensive.
Yeah, but that's never really kept anybody from buying a new console who's going to already do that.
Yeah.
So
And then you create this
Yeah,
disparity.
but if
between,
you have the S, which is going to play in HD, and it's going to run faster and smoother
Mm-hmm.
essentially. But if you have this, I don't know what else they're going to do. If it's if the S is going to start out at like 400, 300, 400,
300, I imagine.
300. If this one's at 8, that's a big enough disparity. I don't know what you would make it do that would be worth that. But it's just like, car companies do
do they
that.
have
know,
a
it's-
price point on it?
They don't. But
Okay.
what's weird is instead of just saying, "Hey, this is a next console
Mm-hmm.
jump," you've got now one console that is incredibly more powerful, supposedly,
Yeah.
but it's not like a new generation leap. So they're still making games for one,
Mm-hmm. Right.
But then you got this other one that still exists. They say every game that comes out will work on all three consoles,
It's just weird.
but it's just like
I
it's kind of like
understand.
how PCs are now. PCs, you can have a really good graphics card and a really bad one, so you can always adjust for
Yeah.
most games. How the graphics look, but in a console space, that's never been done before.
Yeah, that's so weird.
But what's more interesting about Xboxes is they announced a sort of cross-play or play anywhere. So all their new games that come out for Microsoft, when you buy a digital version on your Xbox One, you automatically have it on your PC. Or if you buy it for PC,
Oh, nice.
you automatically have it for Xbox One. So
That's
I can
awesome.
play Gears of War 4 on my Xbox One, go to my friend's house with my laptop, and boot it up, and it'll transfer my save. And
That's
I'm playing.
awesome.
Yeah, so you're
Huh.
getting. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's going to help them
Huh.
a lot and they've wanted to do cross-platform multiplayer for a while, and I don't know if
Yeah,
they're going
and
to.
that,
Yeah.
all games will be that as well. So
Yeah,
I
and
can
that's
play
the
Gears of
thing.
War with PC
Like,
and
I,
Xbox 360.
I'm all loaded up and ready to go on
Xbox
Steam,
One.
but I don't have an Xbox One, But if I could play Terraria with you on your Xbox, then I'd totally do that. So I would love to see cross-platform play. That would be my dream as a PC owner. That'd be cool.
And it's happened a lot already with
Yeah.
PC and Sony.
Yep.
PS3 and PC. But anyway, so
Well, I just remember the reason I was thinking about this Scorpio is they said it's going to come out next holiday.
Holiday 2017.
It's 2017. Interesting. Because, I mean, honestly, a lot of the games that we saw trailers again for this one, we talked a little bit about this last year on the podcast.
Yeah.
If you guys remember. And a lot of the games that we talked about last year
Are still coming out, yeah.
are still now coming out.
That's the thing.
So
about it.
that's
It's like-
that's
No
it's kinda
Man's
just like a
Sky
recon.
That's
just
what
got
I'm
done
talking
with
about.
the lawsuit and stuff like that.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about when these
Lawsuit? I don't know.
Yeah.
these
The copyright thing
Yeah.
with the name Sky. So
Yeah,
they
'cause
finally
somebody
got
owns the
done
name
with that,
Sky,
so they
apparently.
can move forward with it. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, yeah. I don't understand.
There's like
legal
Fall in
people.
the Sky, but I mean,
I forget what it was. If it was like a TV company or something like that. It's like Blue Sky or something. I don't know.
like we talked about
Either way.
Horizon Zero Dawn last year.
Yeah.
I remember that, and we
Yeah.
talked about
Record. Yeah,
Record.
exactly.
yeah, I mean,
Yep.
it's not uncommon for games to be announced 2-3 years before they come out. That's nothing new.
Yeah.
That happens all the time.
So yeah, that's why I was thinking. I wasn't sure if the Scorpio thing was like something that they're just kind of projecting, or if it was set in stone.
It was coming out.
So the date, that makes it a little different for me.
And just the fact that from my knowledge, one company's never announced two consoles right after each other. I mean, it could be like a console and a handheld console to be like, hey, we got a new Xbox, and then we got another new Xbox. Seems silly, but
Sky
I'm sure.
TV. That's
Sky
what
TV.
it was. Because it has
Are you
Sky
effing
in its
serious?
name.
So
Yeah.
what?
That's apparently what
There's
happened.
Blue Sky Studios that makes Ice Age.
Well,
Are they suing them?
I don't know.
There's a character named Sky in Age of or
That's with
Shield.
an E though,
Oh,
so it's fine.
Sky.
yeah,
Yeah.
ban,
my bad.
ban.
What about
And-
Fallen
And
Skies?
Ski's fine because it's an I and it doesn't sound the same. So,
That is so. It's so dumb.
but not a video
Did
game.
anything-
I'm taking a shot right now.
Yes!
I'm taking some shots.
Sky
dang nabbit.
TV sucks.
No, like trying to copyright words like sky or like blue.
Yeah.
Like, what do you?
Or Kesha.
Oh,
yeah.
or, with the dollar sign.
share?
Everybody uses that. Why do you copyright that?
Dollar
Come
signs? No, but like they're two different mediums. No one's gonna be like, oh hey, No Man's Sky. They're trying to take money away from Sky TV.
on. Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, those
up.
people, they stole it. Like, there's no one's gonna think that.
No. Legitimately.
Like, oh, they took our name, so now our business is.
it's
We're
just-
not. We're gonna make less money now because this game came out on a completely.
that is a
different
really
platform.
dumb idea.
It's-
But we
it's
don't
so
know the
petty.
we don't know the intricacies of the lawsuit or whatever.
I don't.
was
But if it
going
was
on
just
there,
based
so
on Sky,
Yeah,
I'm assuming so.
regardless.
yeah, for
If that-
trivial
if-
things like
Yeah.
not even
It's
related at
trivial
all.
and it's.
One's
I
a
think
game
it's
about
stupid.
space
I agree.
exploration. One's a TV network.
I just
Okay.
want to play the stupid
I'm
game.
assuming all three of us have watched a few
Some
of the
things.
game trailers.
Yes.
For those,
Yeah.
what are you guys excited for? Mike's, you're a system behind, so I don't really care what you think.
No, I mean the most intriguing thing was the Zelda trailer. So that was cool. I can't remember what the name of the trailer was, but there was a zombie game that was coming out.
Yes.
What's it called? Do
Crap.
you remember?
No.
But
I
that
don't
one looked
remember.
interesting.
Dave-
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it. But I
me
know what
see.
I'm talking about.
It
me
was
see.
it didn't seem necessarily like a lot different from other zombie games I've seen, but it was just interesting.
It was more open world
Yeah.
than almost any other
Yeah.
zombie game I've seen.
Yeah, and I think it was like more in like the wilderness or something like that,
Yeah.
as opposed to like urban settings where we usually see these games played. So that was intriguing to
I don't
me.
think it starts with a D, guys.
I should know
Because
this.
I'm looking at a list right now that's alphabetical.
Oh, it's a
I'll look it
PS4,
up while
but-
you guys say your trailers that you were intrigued by. So
I think the one that surprised me the most and I'm most excited for is Spider-Man.
okay, yeah,
The reason why I say that is because Insomniac made a really awesome game called Sunset Overdrive,
yeah,
which is super
Zach
fun,
likes,
and
yep.
I hope they make a sequel to it. But what was so great about Sunset Overdrive is the control of your character
controls
was just it's
is
buttery smooth. It's
really
so
good.
much fun to hop around, run on walls. And I was playing it. I'm like, these guys would be a really good developer for a Spider-Man game.
yeah. That's
Because you're
awesome.
hopping around, you're grinding on rails, and now they're making a Spider-Man game. And
That makes
the
sense.
past few Spider-Man games have been fairly average.
Yeah.
And what's always bugged me is like,
Superhero games in general.
yeah,
for the
like
most
you
part,
can shoot your web
other than Batman.
in just open sky and just like swing across air. Like, no, you can't. No, Spider-Man can't do that. So
He's not magic.
no,
Guys.
he's a spider, and he'll do whatever a spider can. But spiders, they don't know magic.
Spider Pig.
Days Gone.
Spider
Days
That's what
Gone.
it's called. Days Gone. Yeah.
Are
So
you
it
sure
is
it starts with a D?
Yeah.
Maybe
Days Gone. And it did start with a D.
Yes.
Yeah.
The cool thing about that, what I was really impressed by that game, is the physics of it, where like the zombies are like climbing over each other.
Yeah.
Kind of
Oh,
like
that's kinda
cool.
World War Z
yeah.
style.
Oh, yeah, just like Craig Mounds.
yeah, where they were just so he would shoot them and they would fall down, and then the zombies would actually like not instead like most games they would just kind of like run through them,
like run around,
or
Or
just
around them,
or around them or whatever, or just stop basically. Whereas these ones were like legitimately climbing over top of them, and so it was more like a horde of zombies instead of like we're like Left 4 Dead primarily, one zombie here and there, and you might get attacked by a group. But these are, it looked really cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
One that I'm interested in is the one that comes to my head. Besides, obviously, super excited for Skyrim, but that's not new. And I don't like Call of Duty. Just keeps evolving into Halo.
Ooh, Titanfall 2.
Titanfall 2
yes.
looked interesting.
Yes.
Ballers. Heck.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I like the first one, but I felt like there was something lacking there,
Well,
and I
there's-
think they
there's-
addressed it in the new one with there's more ability to do things.
Well,
as
there's
the
campaign
pilot.
mode.
Yeah, there's a
Yes.
campaign,
So that's
The
huge.
more with
I remember you were
pilots.
saying it was just PvP, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I have historically not liked that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely I want to be more involved.
It's like
in,
Battlefront. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I didn't
Sorry,
like.
Battlefront. Yeah.
I didn't like the Star Wars that much. It was enjoying for a while, but it didn't keep my attention because of
Go
that.
watch Star Wars.
But
I will. Challenge
Arrested-
accepted.
several
Development.
years ago,
Go watch a Star
Go
Wars.
watch Star Wars.
several years ago, there was a trailer for a game called Prey.
Oh
Yeah.
And it
that
was-
I remember that
that
one,
looked
yeah.
like a
It
cool
was
trailer.
one of like the coolest trailers.
It was like
ever.
Blade Runner bounty hunter.
Yeah.
yeah. That
Where
was really fun.
basically, guy in the future is like a bounty hunter going after aliens and stuff, and it was ridiculous. And they finally developed it, and it looks like it's gonna
Nice.
be.
Yes and no.
It's I don't think it's exactly the same, but they're calling it Prey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't. By the looks of the gameplay of it, it almost seemed more of like a horror to me.
Which,
like
yeah,
that's
you're like
interesting.
you're like a
horror.
test subject kind of thing.
But I mean,
Yeah, interesting that they brought it
I'm,
back.
That
I'm
does sound
inter-
interesting.
The
it-
trailer
it's-
was intriguing.
Yes, it's intriguing to me more than anything. That Zero Dawn, whatever that Horizon.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's
yeah.
a PlayStation game though. That
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
really cool.
Robot dinosaurs.
It does look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But probably not
I'm not gonna buy a PlayStation for it. That's the problem.
No.
But PlayStation seemed like you said, that they kind of won a lot of the stuff. I mean, like I said, I'd like.
I didn't realize Psychonauts was announced at this. That's cool. I love that
VR
game.
VR version of Psychonauts.
Psychonauts
Yeah.
is the best.
Yeah, VR stuff looks amazing. And I think one of the
Oh,
things
yeah.
that I was most intrigued by as far as like news was concerned was that they were
News!
saying that there was
Good
like
news.
possibilities to do Star Wars VR games in the future. And I was like,
Mm.
oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Battlefront VR.
yes, that sounds amazing.
Oh yeah.
I would
Lana.
totally see that's the
Lana.
kind of a thing where me as a Star Wars fan would be like, yeah, I would consider straight up buying a console for that specific purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Done.
And I think VR will stick around a lot more than
Yeah.
like the motion control
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
fad,
The
fade,
Wii.
fad they try to push on people.
Hey,
Especially-
Like
I'll
one-
rock anybody in Wii Tennis right now. Let's go.
no.
I'll
Don't
beat
play
you.
it.
I'll beat you all. You know I'll beat you.
Yeah, that's why I stopped
Yeah.
playing you.
Yeah. I'm really good.
The thing with VR though is they will need to get solid motion controls
Yeah.
to really make it work.
Yeah.
You could use a controller, but like if you really want those immersive
Yeah.
ones, they're gonna
Being
have
a
to solve that
Jedi, baller.
Seriously.
Wow.
until you realize that you suck at lightsaber fighting. And you're like, oh,
No.
oh man, oh shoot, this isn't what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
That's the thing people don't really realize with like, oh yeah, 1-to-1 control. Like
Yeah.
that's cool and all, but if you suck, then you suck.
Then you suck.
You
Well,
suck.
I really want to
So-
see what kind of technology they make to, for movement.
Yeah.
Because like I can look around and shoot and stuff like that, but they'll control my legs unless they want me walking to walls in my living room here.
I really want to see what technology they come up with that allows me to actually continue to stay in my house or apartment more because I'm an avid indoorsman.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of Facebook sort of VR is more geared towards, I imagine. If you think of like a Second Life, I
No,
believe it is.
semi a joke, but
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's society is heading that way.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, like, have you guys
What was
read?
that Bruce
have
Willis
you
movie?
read Surrogates? But have
Yeah.
you guys read Ready Player One?
No, I'm super excited for the movie to come
Heard
out though.
of it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I almost audiobooked it.
Okay. Oh, the general premise is
I don't read.
General
It's-
premise.
general premise is you put on a VR headset and then you go to like that's what
And
they do
some
everything.
dude has a cash prize.
Well, the world's like semi apocalyptic, not totally, but like
You win a video game.
Um,
you win a
so
video
you like to
game.
go to
Who's
high
doing
school,
that?
and
Every
Steven Spielberg.
Spielberg? Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
which I'm curious how they'll pull off because there's so many references to everything. I don't know how they did it in the book without getting sued.
references to everything,
Everything,
like Coke,
Coke,
like Pepsi,
Pepsi,
like Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut.
Why are you just picking up foods?
Cause I'm hungry.
Wheel of
Better
Fortune,
Petroleum.
Lord of the Rings.
That's what I think of when I think of product placement is food.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
And I'm out of Coke right now.
Oh.
I'm out of vanilla Coke right
we're
now. So.
actually gonna wrap up now, unless anybody has anything else on E3.
No,
I don't
I mean a lot of the stuff I'd already heard of, like we said.
Mhm.
Like I'm still just super jacked to go play No Man's Sky whenever I can get my hands on that. So it is what it is.
Open-
Start
open
exploring
universe.
stuff. I just hope that that's like one universe. Do we know if it's shared between like PS4 and
I don't know.
PC and stuff like that?
To be honest,
So it would make sense for them to just have like one giant
that would
galaxy.
be cool if they could pull it off.
That would be the best. I would love that.
So, as always, we're gonna wrap up with
What you watching?
what you watching.
What you watching?
What you watching?
What you
How you
watching?
doing?
Well,
Hey.
You didn't
you
like Friends.
you already know what I'm watching, Zach.
No, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
But the
Oh,
audience
Ben.
doesn't, and I don't.
Well, I watched Voltron on
Oh,
Netflix.
I watched that as well.
Did you watch it too?
I did.
Yeah.
So we've all watched Voltron.
You
yeah,
watched
it was
all-
okay.
the whole thing?
Yeah, I watched the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Just
I
okay.
loved it.
was
I
just
thought it was
okay.
great. It was super fun. I've not gotten into many animated shows recently in the past couple of years, but I was just like, screw it. I'm gonna watch Voltron. I never watched the original. I thought it was super enjoyable.
You
That
should
was so
check
much
out-
fun.
You should check out Legend of Korra then.
It was fun, but
No.
like
No.
I'm not gonna get into Avatar. I'm just
well,
not.
here's the thing.
I saw the movie, and
Okay, let me stop you there.
I know that that's not a good representation at all.
Let me stop you there.
But it
Here,
soured me.
here's some reason
it's
why.
sour to me.
Here's some reason why you should
Shyamalan.
watch Legend of Korra.
Thanks,
So
Obama.
So Avatar is awesome. I love Avatar. Legend of Korra takes place in more of like a industrial revolution. So and it's more geared towards
Yeah, it's like
teenagers.
industrial.
Steampunk.
Avatar are like
It's-
kids. Anyway, it's by the same
Industrial.
animation studio that did Voltron. Studio Mer.
Okay.
So the art style is very similar. The actions,
Okay.
it's got that high. I hate to use the phrase high octane. I don't hate to. It's got a lot of the.
I'd actually
High
prefer you use that.
octane.
It's got high octane action. The
Oh, wow,
The
okay.
showrunners of Voltron worked on.
That's
Legend
what
of
I
Korra.
heard. Yeah.
So a
okay.
lot of there's a lot of the same crew
Well,
that
Mike,
worked
it
on.
sounds
Legend
like
of
you
Korra,
might
so.
watch it now.
No, I probably won't.
Okay.
But I'll give it a shot.
Watch
Uh,
Legend of Korra.
Ben also told me to watch The 100, and I've made further progress in that, and I still don't really
So,
like it.
then
so
just stop watching it.
I will probably stop watching it.
still
No,
don't
yeah.
really
My
like it.
apologies, Ben, but I will probably stop watching
That's
it.
fine.
So some other dude
Nah,
got
just-
killed,
nah,
and I was
just
just like, nah. I'm
watch
all
Legend of
right.
Korra then.
So, yeah.
Okay. Why is Voltron is like?
It was
I
just
liked
enjoyable. It was fun. I liked Power Rangers when I was little, and it had just enough Power Rangers of like, we're gonna form a giant robot and fight things.
5 mini lines.
And I
Anybody-
liked it. No, it was more on like Pacific Rim type instead of like the Power Rangers type, because it was like they shot down like a pod like every couple episodes, you know, and it was like there was a giant alien thing in there, a robot or something in a suit.
That was cool.
And I was like, yeah, I love that.
Like
Like,
the
it-
crazy tentacle
Well, and
monster.
it didn't get repetitive because I was talking to DQ earlier this week, but like it didn't get
DQ?
it didn't get repetitive because like they didn't just have a Power Rangers theme of just
Yeah.
like every episode fight something with Voltron. Like some episodes they didn't even form Voltron. So I don't know if it's going to become more formulaic when they get into the other seasons. I mean, they kind of left on a cliffhanger, but still like
Yeah,
like
kind of.
like what, half of the season here they were trying to figure out how to form Voltron and actually like use their giant
Okay,
lions.
Anybody
so.
else like? Okay, I'll be honest. I didn't hate it.
Yeah,
It was fun. Watched through the entire thing in a couple days. There's only 11 episodes or something like
yeah,
that.
10 or 11.
Well, kind of like 13 because the first episode is
First
like
episode
an
is an
hour.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 3.
Yeah, so it's like 14.
Two things. Mild spoilers.
Mild spoiler alert.
did they really need to do the Voltron getting together every single time? That was like a minute and a half long. Like
They
that.
shortened it, but that's kind of just like a staple of that kind of genre, like a Power Ranger thing.
I'm fine with it. I thought it was cool. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
sometimes
cool,
they
like,
do
the
those
first time,
sequences.
but I was just like,
It would have
okay.
been cool if they kind of switched up
Yeah.
the sequence a bit, but
Yeah.
I mean, it was so short that it's not
Well,
a huge.
I mean, honestly, I'm fine with them keeping it because I remember watching Power Rangers when I was little. Like sometimes they did switch it up and it looked a little bit different sometimes, but then other times it went back to the old one, and then I was just bummed out during that one. And so I think just keeping it similar, you expect the exact same thing every time, and it looked fine. Like it wasn't boring and it wasn't over long compared to
But that's
other formation
but
montages I've seen.
Like, you can't take my mind out of you're fighting someone
Yep.
and they're attacking something that you need to stop them from doing, but we're going to have a minute and a half where we form Voltron.
Hey man,
Like I realize that might not be on the same timeline as how we're seeing it, and Voltron actually getting together is probably quicker than that.
yeah,
But
probably.
it just kind of bothered me. Also, this is actually the spoiler.
Okay.
Spoiler.
Is this the second thing on your list
Yes,
of two?
this was the
Okay.
second thing.
You didn't really number them.
The
You
coming
kinda did.
together.
Number 2.
Dose.
Like, did they really want me to believe that Pidge wasn't a girl at the beginning? Because that was, I definitely 100% knew she was a girl.
I don't
right
think
away.
that they cared if you thought she was or not,
Nah.
but they definitely wanted you to know that the other characters. Well, I mean,
Well,
only when she
only
revealed it, that
what's
only
his
one
face?
guy
Yeah.
was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And everybody else was like, "Yeah, I kind of figured." Or the
Yeah.
princess was like,
'Cause when-
"Yeah, I figured it out based off of that."
When they
Whatever
first
that
said, like,
was,
oh, this
the
is
mice.
Pidge with his girlfriend, I was like, that's a girl.
Yeah.
You're talking to the girl right now.
Hmm.
So,
Clever.
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
That
in
just
the-
kind of stuck out to me like a sore thumb, and I was like,
apparently in the original Voltron, like Pidge's character wasn't a girl, so maybe that's the reason. I don't know.
maybe it's kind of
I don't know. Either way, I didn't have a problem with either of those
I
things.
watched it. It was enjoyable. I'm probably not gonna.
It
I'll
just sounds
probably
like
watch season 2.
it just sounds like you're not a big fan of that type of show, whereas
No,
I
didn't
am.
grow up
so
with.
I liked
I
it.
didn't like Power Rangers
Power Rangers
growing
is
up.
awesome.
That wasn't
I didn't watch a
my
lot
deal.
of Power Rangers, but I
Tell me
love
you didn't do kicks afterwards.
Who?
and a ton of
Flying
cartwheels.
kicks? Oh yeah. Or just like
I
do a
didn't
combat
watch it.
roll. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You would have done those things if you watched
I watched
it.
Saturday morning cartoons.
So did
and,
I.
And Nickelodeon.
So did I. Well, I didn't have cable, so maybe
we
that's
didn't either.
why.
We had Nickelodeon.
So,
for some reason. I watched a lot of Discovery
that's
Channel
cable,
back when
Zach.
Discovery
Yeah,
Channel.
that's
Mike's
also cable.
watching Voltron.
Yep, I was. I finished it.
Zach, what are you watching?
I also watched Voltron.
Yeah.
I am caught up on Game of Thrones.
I'm looking at Zach and you give me the high five.
Nice.
Just-
I'm gonna copy
Yeah,
Zach. almost.
completely caught up on Game of Thrones. Apparently.
So,
How
I
long
got-
ago did we get HBO? How many weeks ago?
like a month
3
ago.
weeks ago.
I legitimately went through 5
6
seasons
Okay, yeah,
and
a bit.
8 episodes
Yeah, so
of Game of
almost 6.
Thrones in less than a month. And I'm super proud of that. Like,
It's like
honestly,
60 hours of TV.
it is my favorite show.
It's a good show.
It's usurped shows that
You
have
used that word
long
again, didn't ya?
standed been favorite. Like,
Usurped.
My problem with Game of Thrones is sometimes there's too many characters and you hardly see any of the characters do anything. Like, hey, I like this character, and then in an episode you see them for like 2 minutes.
I've heard a lot of people with that same complaint of if you really like, in that I will say, if you
Just in
really
general, it's
like
just like,
one storyline, they're gonna follow that one storyline for maybe 10 minutes out of an episode because they
Not
break it up.
And not even for some characters.
Yeah,
I
depending
mean,
on
like,
the characters.
if you
But
I
that's the
enjoy
thing.
all the storylines, but it's kind of like, oh, you have
There were definitely
too many things happening sometimes in a
yeah,
season.
there were definitely storylines that I liked over other ones, but I like all of the storylines.
Oh yeah, I like all the storylines too, but it's kind of just like after you, because I've been shotgunning through as well. I'm on season 5, and I mean like even certain characters I won't say because people are spoiled, but like you've seen them like, oh, I saw you maybe 3 times this season.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were supposed to be a bigger deal than this, but I only saw you a couple
Yeah.
times. Or anyway, great
Yeah.
show.
Still,
Still not for children.
agreed. Yes. Do not watch it with your children. So I'm not gonna give anything away for you, but
Yeah, please.
if you're on the interweb at all,
Yeah.
is probably as much as all of us are. You know
I know that's
what
that's,
this last
that's,
episode's about.
Yeah, that's
The
what.
Battle of the Bastards episode.
Don't go into any more details because all I know is that there's bastards fighting. But that's what bugs me now is like I'll see a picture and because Game of Thrones is a show where people die, like that's what it's known for. A character you love will just die. So like when I see pictures of characters, I'm like, oh well, they're clearly not dead.
Can I say if I liked or disliked that episode?
No.
Or they could have died and been resurrected.
Not true. Like one character anyway.
Anyway.
That one person. So yeah, that's me. Voltron and Game of Thrones.
Nice.
Same.
Wow. Just
I need to
Voltron.
watch Peaky Blinders.
I
season
forgot
3.
that came out.
I need to watch the like past like episode of Sherlock too, where it's like
You didn't watch all Sherlock yet?
no, it's a
Sherlock one?
standalone single episode.
Nice. Is that
where
on
it's-
Netflix?
It's in
yep, Victorian era.
the Victorian
Is that
era.
on Netflix right
Yes,
now?
it is.
Oh, cool. I
And
haven't
need
seen
to
that
watch
one yet.
that as well.
Nice.
But other than that, I'm not watching anything new. I'm waiting for like Luke Cage to come out later this year.
Cool.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
now
Luke
that I don't
Cage.
have to watch The 100 anymore, I can watch something else. So
Mr. Robot, if you're looking for something.
yeah, I should. I was
on
actually
Amazon
thinking
Prime
about that
right
the
now.
other day.
I-
It's also
I
on the
have-
bookcase over there.
True, but it's also
It's right over.
And season 2 is coming out soon.
also
so,
on Amazon
yeah,
Prime.
All right.
Don't have that.
Well, I'm hot.
Me too.
It's
Yeah,
hot
you
in
are.
Here. Oh yeah,
Warm.
that was for you, Alan. You know who I'm talking to. Anyways,
Yeah, Alan.
this is Cheap Shot Cinema. I'm Zach.
I'm Mike.
I'm still Ben.
You guys have a fantabulous evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Say hi to your mother for me. Wait, why would you say that?
Okay, Mark Wahlberg.
I know. Say hi to your
hi to
mother.
your mother for
Say
me.
hi to your mother for me.
Say hi to your mother for me.
Yeah, can you cut that part out?
Nope.
Dang it!